What's going on, YouTube? And today we got Luka Doncic is going to be in trouble or might be forced to do something drastic. My fault. I was saying my title. This is the title of the video we're watching. Shout out to Mike Korzemba.
Now it's Gilgeous Alexander, and that's
last Luka Doncic video will be at the end of the video. But you see what he's saying, not playing defense. Okay.
Technical foul on Luka or somebody.
I'm talking to my teammates has got it, like, cause for real, you can't. My fault, y'all, but you can't say nothing in today's NBA. It kills me. Like, what the fuck? You can't even talk to your teammate.
On Luka or somebody.
Hey, you got a foul the other way. Timeout. Ntilikina brings down the rebound.
Double team on Luka, yeah.
And they throw it away.
Kenny Smith missed them both. The ISO for him.
Lob to the rim, and Lopez lays it in. Doncic will fire. No! Milwaukee escapes.
Can Luka Doncic do it all? Is a question I feel like we've been asking ourselves far too often. When we look at young stars such as Zion Williamson and Ja Morant, their franchises have surrounded them with some of the best young cores in the NBA, while Luka, well, it's been 5 seasons now, and the Mavericks still do not have a second star for him. The team and roster they have in place is far from perfect, and when you consider all of the decisions that have already been made since Luka Doncic has joined the Dallas Mavericks, we have to look at their current roster and think this is a huge deal. Because are the Mavericks actually going to waste their championship window with, on paper, possibly the greatest young player we have ever actually seen? In the past, we watched as LeBron James spent his first 7 seasons with the Cavaliers and then moved on from a failing.
Let me see that comparison. First full-year averages. Our boy Luka tough. That boy Luka tough.
7 seasons with the Cavaliers and then moved on from a
Yeah, I'm saying.
roster. We saw Kevin
Luka
Durant
tough.
get
That's
outpaced
Braun
by
like.
Steph Curry
That's
as
very
OKC's
tough.
front
My fault.
office refused to sign any kind of good 3-point shooter. Meanwhile, right now, Luka Doncic is averaging over 34 points per game in one of the most dominating young campaigns we have seen to start a season. But more impressively to me, when we take last season into account, we have over a 100-game sample size, and in those 100 games, Luka would join this elite list of the only 8 players to average at least 29 points per game between the ages of 22 and 23. But here is the most interesting thing. If we add another requirement in, let's say 5 rebounds per game as well, the only man removed from this list is a guard, Michael Jordan. However, if we instead took away 5 rebounds per game and added 5 assists per game, we would be left with just 2 players. As right now, Luka Doncic is on pace to become the first player to achieve this feat, averaging 29 points and 5 assists per game between the ages of 22 and 23 in the last 60 years. So if the Mavericks do not get a real championship core around this man, and he...
I had a feeling. I knew Luka was like the stats got to say something. I knew the stats was gonna say something. Like he's definitely, because I was arguing one of y'all in the comment section about Luka being having more skill than Larry Bird. You know, I believe Luka has way more skill than Larry Bird. Not way more. Let me not say way more, but more skill than Larry Bird. It is 40 years later. You know, Luka is one of the best players in the league right now. The advancements, the innovations, it's just inevitable for players and the talent to skyrocket, bro. Like it's just gonna happen. Larry Bird, his dominance is where he got Luka. He impacted the game way more. He dominated the game way more. He won way more, you know. But both on both sides is unfair comparisons because one's in a different era and one hasn't been playing for long enough yet, you know?
It will be one of the biggest wastes of young talent we have ever seen. With all of this said though, here's the thing. There is a much more important storyline going on, and that is that if the Mavericks never get this figured out, Luka Doncic could already get eliminated from the GOAT race, or at the very least, he might have to climb a now almost impossible mountain. So what's up guys, Mike here, and the last thing I want to do is discount Luka from any GOAT race. So what I'm really saying is there should be a fire under the Dallas Mavericks, but to get them to improve while they have the young go, they need to get Luka a better core here, and they need to do it fast. There is no time to wait around, and to show you what I mean, let me hit you with this question. What if LeBron James never passed Michael Jordan in the GOAT race due to the fact that the Cleveland Cavaliers royally screwed up when they had Baby Bron for 7 seasons? But before we continue, guys, I am very excited to say that this video is sponsored by a longtime friend of this channel, DraftKings. And of course, the NFL season is over, which means it is playoff time. Starting on January 14th, 14 of the best teams in the NFL are going to be
Oh, get your money, my boy. My fault.
multiple bet winning the draft. But LeBron James would go on to have tremendous success in a team sense after these first 7 seasons, but LeBron was forced to go make a super team in Miami. That was not his first choice. Due to the mistakes of the Cavaliers front office at the time, LeBron himself was given an almost impossible route, as someone such as Tim Duncan or Kobe Bryant or Steph Curry, those 3 superstars benefited heavily from immediately playing with great front offices. Tim Duncan's team had David Robinson on it, and they would go on to bring in Manu Ginobili and Tony Parker, and then later on, bring in Kawhi Leonard. Kobe and the Lakers, well, he was drafted when his front office was already bringing in Shaq, and then nobody would say that the Shaq and Kobe Lakers did not have tons of talent. From there, the Lakers were also able to completely rebuild around Kobe and win an additional 2 titles with Pau Gasol. And then, of course, currently Steph Curry, well, the Warriors front office has not been able to miss. But then, look at what happened to LeBron James, who only made / got swept in the NBA Finals once in his first stint with the Cavaliers. Because while Dwayne Wade's front office was getting him guys like Shaquille O'Neal, the Cavaliers would begin the LeBron James era with one of the craziest NBA free agent stories we have ever seen. By the way, if you are enjoying this video, it is 2023 and my goal on this channel is 2 million subscribers. That means in terms of quality, if you are liking this one, I'm going to make
my boy. I'm gonna subscribe,
exactly like this or better, I promise you. So make sure to subscribe and turn on post notifications so you don't miss a single one. As headed into the 2004 offseason, second-round pick and future NBA All-Star Carlos Boozer had severely outperformed his contract, as he had averaged 15.5 points and 11.4 rebounds per game in just his second season. And so as the story goes, behind the scenes, the Cavaliers made a handshake deal with Boozer in which the Cavs agreed to decline Carlos Boozer's option and then sign him long-term for $41 million over 6 seasons. The problem was that the Utah Jazz came in with a $68 million counteroffer that Carlos Boozer accepted. The Cavaliers owner would say, "I believed in Carlos," while Boozer says no handshake deal was made. Regardless of who was right, the Cavaliers office bumbled away a 2-time All-Star, already tying a hand behind LeBron's back, as LeBron would say, "It's a hell of a blow." And it was. In the 2006 playoffs, the Cavs would lose to the Pistons in the Eastern Conference semifinals in 7 games, as the second leading scorer on the team behind LeBron was Zydrunas Ilgauskas with just 10.9 points per game. Boozer scored.
Y'all be trying to criticize Brown, man. He ain't have no motherfucking help. He ain't have no help. How y'all gonna be saying all this about Brown? He ain't have no help.
Scoring and rebounding was missed, and then, as was the scoring of one of the top free agents in 2005, as the 2005 free agent shooting guard class gave us incredible players such as Michael Redd, who would average a combined 24.3 points per game between 2005 and 2008, and Ray Allen, a future Hall of Fame legend who was in his prime. The Cavs also could have pursued Joe Johnson, who would go on to become a multiple-time All-Star with the Atlanta Hawks, but instead Cleveland would destroy their cap space by signing Larry Hughes, who would average just 15.5 points per game on 41% shooting the very next season as the highest paid player on the team. And we've already mentioned a possibility for a better run for LeBron in 2006, but how about in 2008 when the Cavs lost in 7 games to the eventual NBA champion Boston Celtics? And who was it who iced Game 7 of this series? None other than Ray Allen. Are you actually kidding me? It also needs needs to be mentioned that the Cavaliers got straight up unlucky, as the number 6 pick in the draft right before LeBron James was DeJuan Wagner, who would suffer an extremely serious health condition and was forced to retire. So a bit of bad luck, but more importantly, those two massive mistakes shaped all of the Cavaliers' decisions going forward. After those mistakes and those playoff failures, they tried desperately to play catch up. They signed too many older stars, they traded away too many draft picks, and suddenly their roster had no trade assets. Does that sound familiar? And looking at
I was just about to pause the video too. Like, it seemed like that was Braun. Like, it seemed like Braun had a hand in all this since the jump. Oh my God, Braun. I hope this was not your doing. If it, I feel like it was. It seems like something you'd do, you know. It seems like you got a lot of faith in the older generation of players, you know.
Looking at the Dallas Mavericks, we can start to see some scary.
Why not just sign
Dallas
some youngins
went
that's
all in
just
on
coming
a
up?
Kristaps Porzingis trade, and that did not work at all. For whatever reason, the chemistry was just not there. But more importantly, the trade return that Dallas got when they shipped out Porzingis was just not nearly worth the all-star they thought they were getting in Porzingis. That is especially not good when you consider the current state of the Dallas Mavericks roster. They do not have a young player that looks like he can grow into a second option. They do not have the trade assets to go out and get a second option, and they currently do not have the cap space to sign a second option. Meanwhile, for our second example as to what an incompetent front office can do to you, looking at Kevin Durant, it's easy and justifiable to bury the Thunder for trading away James Harden. However, the Thunder did still have 2 MVPs after this happened, which means the real atrocity that took place here was that somehow the Thunder were never able to surround these 2 stars with shooting. In the 2010 playoffs, the Thunder would shoot 5 for 19 from 3 in an elimination at Game 6, as this also happened.
You gotta double him. You cannot leave him one-on-one. Bryant for the lead. Misses. Gasol banks it in with 5/10 of a second remaining. Finds Westbrook, puts it up at the buzzer, off the rim, and the Lakers win and advance.
For this series against the Lakers, OKC shot under 30% from 3, so you'd think the front office would fix this problem. Only with the 2011 playoffs wide open, the Thunder found themselves matched up against the eventual NBA champs, the Dallas Mavericks, in the 2011 Western Conference Finals, where Dallas would make 38 threes to the Thunder's 22. OKC would also shoot even worse from 3 that playoff series, as they made only 27.5% of their shots from 3. The idea to get Kevin Durant and Russell Westbrook shooting around them was not exactly rocket science. Everyone knew it needed to be done, but the Thunder just couldn't do it. The 2014 Spurs made 20 more threes than the Thunder and shot almost 10% better, 40% to 30%, in the 2014 Western Conference Finals, as the Spurs won in 6 games. And then of course, in the 2016 Western Conference Finals, that is 3 Western Conference Finals if you're counting at home, the Golden State Warriors were the blueprint at this point, so they of course shot tremendously better than the Thunder. Now to me, this raises the question, what should this all mean for Kevin Durant and his legacy? Because at this point, it seems like people have fully agreed that it is LeBron James 1 and Steph Curry 2 for the best player of the 2010s, but as you just heard, if the Thunder had signed a few more high-level shooters instead of their failed attempts such as Kyle Singler, KD could have easily had another title or 2, and he could have done it with the team that drafted him. That would have been a huge legacy changer, and we have to be honest with ourselves. A player is not in control of his career early on. That is a scary thought. Real legacies can be changed here. Real legacies have been changed here. I just hope the Dallas Mavericks are able to get Luka Doncic more help before they become another example of what could have been. Please, for Luka, for all of us, get him some help. So thank you for watching, guys. I hope you enjoyed today's video. If you are new,
and that's that, man. My boy Luka need help. Bron Ben needed help. KD need help. You know. It's a league full of stars right now, man. One, 2 stars ain't gonna do it. 1, 2, 3 guys. Nah, 3 guys might do it. You know, three stars might do it, but you're not gonna get 3 stars. You know. That's the end of this one, though, y'all. If you enjoyed this reaction, though, make sure you click on the last Luka Doncic reaction. Doncic. Mouthful, let me say it correctly. On your screen right now. And I'm out of here, y'all. Appreciate y'all for watching. Turn on post notifications.